Hi, my name is Kirsten Chandler, and today I'm going to be discussing the types of speech deliveries and the pros and cons of these deliveries, as well as the setting or the time when each of these would be the most used or accepted type of speech to use. The first one I'm going to discuss with you is impromptu. So, impromptu is when you're called out of nowhere. You really don't have a whole lot of time to prepare. So that is a big con. There's no preparation time. There's no time to practice what you're going to say. So it's really just like an overview, a good summary of the information that you want the group you're speaking to understand. And this could be used in a meeting, in like a business setting, or it could also be in like a classroom if you were called out to present some data or information that you had just previously discussed. Impromptu is not going to be very long, so that's a pro, is that you're not going to be required to speak about it for 10 minutes. It's going to be very short and to the point. And another pro is that you're not expected to be flawless. The delivery type is less formal, so it's not going to be a huge deal if you make a mistake or you have a slight pause when delivering the speech. The next type of delivery is extemporaneous, and this is the style that we're going to use in this class. And it is where you prepare some information and you have bullet points, but you know the main points that you're going to speak about, and you're not going to read directly from any type of paper or teleprompter. It's going to be from memory, all of the main points you want to hit, with a little bit of a guide from note cards or a PowerPoint in front of you. Now, the pros to this is that you do get time to prepare. So you're going to be able to practice all of these points that you're going to want to speak about. You're also going to have time to see the type of audience that you're going to be talking to. So you can really tailor your argument to focus on specific language that that audience would respond well to. The cons of this is that you're still responsible for capturing that audience's attention, and you are expected to know the information you're talking about. So it's really important to practice that information and spend more time than you would with an impromptu or even with the manuscript, because you're going to need to portray all of the main points that you want to get across over to that audience that you're speaking to. Manuscript is the next one, and this was mostly used in inaugural speeches or presidential official speeches. This style, you're going to have a teleprompter or a manuscript of an exact language, like a list of the things that you need to say in the exact way that you're going to say them. So in this specific style, you do need to practice, but a pro is that you have those words directly in front of you. It's not off of your memory. It's not based off of memorization. It's strictly words written out in front of you to say directly. Now, a con of this is that sometimes it can become almost like an autopilot type presentation, and so you can really lose that audience if you're not practicing making that connection. You have to put in a little bit more effort to make it sound formal but not boring. The last point, or the last speech style, is memorization, and this is the least used style in the real world, but it does happen. There are times. So an example would be at a wedding. Usually the bride and groom have maid of honors, and they have to give this speech, and usually that is a memorized speech. A pro of this is that it's usually short, so it's not a very long and drawn out type of speech. and you get to practice how you're going to deliver that. You have a lot of time before to practice those main topics that you're going to want to cover. A con of this type is that there is not a way for you to reference any material. It's all directly from your memory. So you really need to focus on the main points and memorize those main topics that you want to cover. That way, throughout the speech, the wording may change every time that you present it, but you still get those overall important topics discussed to these people that you're presenting to. So these are the types of speech deliveries, and in this class I will be using the extemporaneous style for presenting my persuasive and informative speech. And knowing these different styles is really helpful when presenting because it helps the audience and the speaker to understand each other. So the audience needs to understand the type of speech that's going to be presented to them so they have a little bit more leniency, or they know the style to expect. So I will be using these in the future, and I will see you later.